Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tipped and Stiff podcast with your host, Kate Elmers and
Jared Sturridge.
Oh, it's been a week, people. We didn't think it was going to happen, but then it did. It would seem that the Russian military has begun its invasion of Ukraine. As we are speaking, this is Sunday, the 27th of February, 2022. There's talks of peace, but we are now, and not into a week, we're into like 5 days of shelling, of troops moving into Ukraine.
People evacuating major cities.
Saboteurs, the elimination of military targets, air bases, and other strategic resources throughout Ukraine.
Yeah. Horrible. I mean,
it's not good.
I'm compelled to get involved.
Me too. And here's the thing.
Yeah. Brothers in arms.
Brothers in arms. I have nothing against the Ukrainians.
No.
I have quite a bit against the Russians. The thing is, though, what people seem to forget about this, listening to a lot of people talk about the Ukraine-Russian conflict is in America really shows how America is a kind of a dumb place. We really don't know we don't know our history, and we also don't know where Ukraine is on the map. Like, if you were to go around and ask, point to me where Ukraine is, the majority of people, the majority of people talking about it also wouldn't be able to tell you where it is on the map. But that's fine. The real thing is that people need to understand that Putin is a gangster. And I don't mean that in like in an endearing way. I mean that like that's how they run politics in Russia. Like, he is a gangster. He was in the KGB. He was working in East Berlin before the fall of the wall. When he was working there, he was doing spying for the consulate there. And then after the KGB, he came back to Russia. He was the mayor of St. Petersburg. And when he was the mayor of St. Petersburg, he pretty much worked with the criminal underground and bribed people. He was accused of using money for bribes, stealing money, all this thing. After that, he became the prime minister of Russia. So, big upgrade.
I wonder how long after that happened. Who is this?
This is him.
What is happening?
There we go. So this man, Vladimir Putin, then became the
beautiful
prime minister of Russia. At the time, while he was the prime minister of Russia, was the invasion of Georgia, where they annexed 2 pieces of land. NATO was like, don't do that again. And then they didn't give it back, and they sanctioned them. And then later in 2008, when when Vladimir Putin was the president, that is when they annexed Crimea, which is also in Ukraine, for their deep water port. And then he's now the president still. And so now what I'm really trying to say is Russia is ran by a big good old boys club, meaning that the oligarch that was kind of controlling a lot of Russia has to obey what Vladimir Putin wants them to do. There was a guy, one of the billionaires, and the creation of this oligarch was after the USSR fell. They had to sell a lot of their state-owned resources, the energy departments, oil, telecommunications, and it was really owned by 6 people. And they were the ones who kind of ran Russia. And Vladimir Putin came in and said, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. And one of those billionaires was really didn't like how Putin was running things, to say the least. And he spoke out against Putin, and he was, funding a presidential opposition to Putin. And then that guy got arrested for 14 years. So he got arrested for 14 years, and everyone shut their mouth. So he runs it like a gangster. The moving in on Ukraine is because Russia is realizing that they kind of put their money in the wrong places. They didn't invest their money correctly. They've been trying to, they've been playing a game of constant catch up from the fall of the USSR, and Putin wants to recreate the greatness of USSR. There was also a war in Chechnya as well that he was involved in, where they most likely faked terrorist bombings to invade Chechnya. So
a lot of people in Russia don't like Putin. There's these 2 really big YouTube channels that deal with one of them's like a travel YouTube channel. He travels mostly around Russia and like just the old USSR like countries that used to be part of it, and he just asks people. He encounters thousands of people like every year, and he asks like, did they prefer the time of the Soviet Union to now under in Russia, specifically under Putin? And they're like, yeah, like it's horrible now. Like they felt like so much more security under the USSR.
Right.
Whether that is like a testament to the actual nature of the USSR is,
give and take.
It's historically, obviously it's not, that was not a great place at certain periods of time, depending where you look, but, he doesn't have favorability right now.
No.
But what can people even do about that? That's the thing. He runs it like such a...
I think it's also split because
Yeah.
it's like Trump. Like it's polarizing. Some people love him because they're bought into it and into the propaganda. Other people don't
Right.
like him, but it's a huge country. So
And some people have different interests.
right.
And sometimes those interests like correlate with... or sometimes those interests correlate with the propaganda that makes people like him as well, where they're not necessarily fooled by propaganda, but they would like to be ideally part of whatever vision that Putin represents and what that country represents. Bryce, what on earth are you searching?
Putin is, he actually, though, I think he was like into some sort of judo, like he's into judo, but like the World Judo Federation like condemned him or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, Russians probably don't like him because like the entire time he's been president, they've had sanctions on them and their economy's been bad. But what is interesting is that a lot of this has to do with oil. Again, could you imagine? Isn't it really strange that so many conflicts in the 21st century have to do with oil? And a lot of them have to do with oil because I don't know if anyone noticed, but you know the country that kind of runs the EU, right? Do you know which one it is?
No.
It's Germany.
Okay.
Do you know why Germany has kept their mouth shut this entire time over the Ukraine conflict? Because 10% of Germany's energy sector relies on Russian oil. That is their biggest export, and Russian oil is Russia's biggest export. And the thing is that, and the reason why it's that way is because Germany tore down all their nuclear reactors because they believed they were dangerous, even though that is not the case. So the thing that's strange is that we really see that there's a lot of evidence that when it comes to energy, that green energy is good not only for the earth, but for geopolitical reasons. So that when someone gets a little mouthy and you point a gun at them and you go, we don't need your oil anymore, so maybe you should get back in line, they listen. Instead of, fuck you, I'm going to invade a country. Because this is where the history comes in that I was speaking about earlier. Do you know what other country in a big war kind of just kept taking land and another group of like a peace treaty countries agreed not to invade them? Was Nazi Germany. So like Nazi Germany took over Sudetenland, and they're the at the time the Justice League or the League of Nations.
Superman?
Yeah, the League of Nations. Sorry. The League of Nations. That was hilarious. The League of Nations was like, you better not do that again. And he went, okay. And then Hitler looked around and he's like, I want this. And then they were like, you better not do it again. And he did that 7 times. And he did that 7 times and then invaded an entire country and then began World War II.
Dude, it's not his fault. He was possessed by an ancient Aryan demon.
Right.
He said this.
He did say this.
What?
Yeah, look, yeah.
He once said that there's some...
Mussolini.
He said it to Mussolini, and it was at like some large event or banquet, kind of big gathering, wasn't it?
They were having like coffee together or something. And Mussolini wrote in his notes or his diary or his journal. This could be fake.
I can't imagine them sitting down for coffee.
Why not?
Like that just seems like such a...
That seems like exactly what two like superpowers, like the heads of superpowers would do is get...
it seems like they wouldn't be able to be in a room together alone.
Yeah, but they're the only ones that understand
They're
each
aligned,
other.
though. They were aligned.
They're
right?
soulmates.
At the time.
What with their star signs?
Yeah, but think about it. If you had to go talk, if you were like the head of like a really authoritarian country and you're like, man, I just got some shit going on, I need to talk to someone, you're going to go talk to someone who's in the same position.
That's a good point, yeah.
So like...
hoping he's just as crazy and up and over his head as you are.
Right. And the thing with Russia is that Russia's been kind of doing this, but now the way the economy works is just different. Russia relies so much on every other country to like stay in line. Like when the sanctions began, when they started invading Ukraine, 85% of Russians' banking ended because it's all reliant on everyone else. Like they can't process doing simple business. So their economy is tanking right now. And I think Russia realizes that they're in a logistical nightmare. They're not set up to have a war because they're not very independent. No matter, the thing is that not really any country is. Every country is we are so globally connected. Is the strange thing. This is actually what globalism is. Like, this is, like, in a weird way, the positives of globalism. When people get a little mouthy and want to start shooting at each other, they can't because they rely on every other country so much that once every other country's like, we're not going to give this to you anymore, they stop. Yeah. This was the exact same reason why Japan bombed Pearl Harbor. Japan needed the United States out of influence in the Pacific because they were invading countries in the South China Sea now, and like the Philippines and stuff like that, because they needed oil. They were running out of oil. It's the only reason they were doing it. They wanted to expand, but they were running out of natural resources. Russia doesn't have the natural resources to go on an all-out war. They rely too much on other places. And the thing is like when America goes into the Middle East, we don't take our oil and use it for the war. We take their oil. We take over their oil fields and we pump their oil and use it for us. That's how this works. Like, so it's really interesting. It's not good. Obviously, it's really sad. I mean, it's hard to. There's really nothing funny about a country invading another one innocently. Like, there's no one involved in the Ukraine that is a bad person. They're all innocent people. People are losing their homes or becoming displaced. They're in a time of chaos for no good reason. Truly, no good reason. It's just because one guy wants to rebuild a dead idea, and worrisomely, and we can start talking about the deterrent thing. And we talked about this a little before the podcast. And I said this. I said a little. Not on the podcast, but I was worried because I was like, what's going to happen? I'm like, Putin has to be really nervous about this going wrong because if you know anything about Russia and the USSR, when someone starts fucking up and they start they start making the pockets of a lot of other people, a little lighter, those people disappear. And like, I imagine Putin right now is probably looking around the room wondering whose it's going to be. Yeah. Who's going to be the one who puts the poison in his drink. Yeah. Who suicides him, or just makes him disappear. A random car accident. Putin's vehicle crashed into a tree after it got hijacked by a satellite.
Helicopter crash.
Do you want to watch this video?
Yeah, I want to watch this video. Watch the video about Putin.
How he acts, or like the kind of way that he, influences people around him and the fear that he kind of instills in them. Like, I think that's given that power for so long. But like you said, like, once someone starts fucking up, like there's now a chance of a coup happening.
With his chief spy. That's interesting.
Okay, this is with his chief spy.
Таким образом, согласился бы с предложением Николая Платоновича о том, что нашим, так сказать, западным партнерам можно дать последний шанс с тем, чтобы предложить им в кратчайшие сроки заставить Киев пойти на мир и выполнить Минские соглашения. В противном случае мы должны принять то решение, о котором сегодня говорится.
Что значит, в противном случае вы предлагаете начать переговорный процесс?
Нет, я...
Или признавать суверенитет их.
Я поддержу...
Говорите прямо.
Я поддержу предложение о признании...
Поддержу или поддерживаю? Говорите прямо, Сергей.
Поддерживаю предложение...
Так и скажите, да или нет.
Да. Поддерживаю предложение о вхождении Донецкой и Луганской народных республик в состав Российской Федерации.
Да, мы об этом не говорим, мы этого не обсуждаем. Мы говорим о признании их независимости или нет.
Да, я поддерживаю предложение о признании независимости.
Хорошо, пожалуйста, садитесь. Спасибо. Владимир Александрович.
He's dead. So to summarize, because for people who are listening, pretty much what he was saying, it was the chief spy who was talking for the majority of time there, was talking about how maybe they should start taking in the idea that they should, to summarize, they should realize they lost and that this isn't
No,
going to...
this was on the 21st. So this was like a week ago before they even invaded.
So
they invaded on the 22nd, I think.
So they're saying before...
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So
they're talking about like recognizing those two like parts of, Ukraine, whether they're independent or not.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because before the conflict, Donetsk and the one that starts with an L,
Luska or something.
Luska, they're pretty much trying to take claims on places that are ethnically Russian, but the chief spy is saying, they're talking about like letting them into the Russian Federation or letting them operate as independent states outside of Ukraine, and Vladimir Putin doesn't like that idea. He wants them to be part of the Russian Federation. But it's more the fact that somebody in his council, his chief spy, is suggesting something polar opposite of Vladimir Putin, and Putin's going, speak plainly, yes or no. Like, what do you want? And the guy goes, I do support the proposal of their independence. And he goes, that's great. Take a seat. That's great. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. How about you take a seat?
It's so funny how way he talks to people. Because
His
when
kids are dead.
The way Putin talks is like so, like he just talks like
Spooky.
like he doesn't talk like a politician that we know in America. Like, he doesn't talk like weirdly, like in this weird defined box. Like it's like a speech every time. There's only certain kinds of words and only a certain kind of attitude you can use. He talks like he's like at a poker table, and he just I don't know. He just talks like he's just manipulative in every way. It's really interesting.
Right. Well, because politicians here have to talk about...
They have to talk down to dumb people.
Well, yes, they have to do that, and also they have to like keep their poll numbers and make sure that they're not like offending and just like keeping their. They need to talk.
They rely too much on us.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Yeah, right. They have to talk in big generalities. They have to talk to everyone. They got to pull as many people in as possible. They're like, I'm the right candidate. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't need to talk to anybody in any certain way. The only way he talks to people is, if you disagree with me, I will disappear you. Like, which is what he's doing. Can we see the video? And I'm gonna read. I want to see the video where he's talking about the nukes and the deterrents.
All right.
And I'm gonna try. I'll read. I will speak as he's speaking. So
we
this
also
is
could
Vladimir.
probably find the English audio and then like dub it in for the audio people.
Yeah.
After.
Dear colleagues, as you can see, not only do Western countries take unfriendly measures against our country in the economic dimension, I mean the illegal sanctions that everyone knows about very well, but also the top officials of leading NATO countries allow themselves to make aggressive statements with regards to our country. That is why I order the Defense Minister and Chief of the General Staff to put Russian army deterrence forces on high combat alert.
So he thinks that we're going to go in and invade Russia. And well, he needs the Russian people to be scared that the Western world is coming for them when they're not. Like, NATO for the most part, and all the members in it, don't want a war.
No.
None of them do. That's why
anybody does except him.
Except him. That's why they're fighting this economically.
Sounds like kind of the point of NATO is to be like the person who's always saying, would something else be better than war?
Right.
Like, let's actually see if this, like, are you guys, is this war necessary? Like, are these feelings you're having against this other country rightly placed, or is there like a more diplomatic way we can go about this?
Right.
Well,
but I don't know how that's going to work. Like, I guess we could see what happens after the peace talks that are supposedly happening today on the border.
Well, the thing about the creation of NATO was just to pretty much cease the expansion of communism. Like the NATO, like the USSR had its satellite states. It had the countries that became part of the USSR, and which the USSR is just another United States. Like that's all it stands for. It's just a communist version of the United States. You know, like how America, like when you go to put where your country is, and every other country in the world has a name, like England or Germany or Ghana, Madagascar, like those are places. But when you get down to yours, it just says United States. Like that's not a place. You know what I mean? Like Wisconsin's a place, but Wisconsin is in the United States. Like Ukraine, Belarusia, Kazakhstan are part of the USSR. So when they were all
Czech
part
Republic,
of that,
I think.
not the Czech Republic.
Not the Czech wasn't? Okay.
No. NATO was created in order to make like its version of that, but only like diplomatically, and it was pretty much just saying if any of their countries attack one of ours, all of us attack. So it really was like it was a big deterrent.
Yeah.
So pretty much it's like there's not going to be little skirmishes going into smaller countries. It's if you put a soldier on one of our allies, you don't just attack a little country with an itty-bitty army. You're attacking the entire might of the Western world combined.
Yeah.
So that's why Russia's doing this. He doesn't like that NATO is trying to get Ukraine to join. He doesn't like the idea that he doesn't like the idea that a country in NATO is going to be on the border of Russia.
Right.
Because Putin looks at it like, oh, that's the end of the USSR, which it already was. In reality, what's probably going to happen over time is now that we realize that, you know, Putin's kind of, you know, at the end of an era, he's part of an old world that doesn't exist anymore. Russia needs to catch up with the rest of the world. What if Russia truly wants to exist in the future and actually like survive and not stagnate? They're going to have to embrace the Western world. They're going to have to embrace the ideas and the way that the Western world operates. Maybe not how the United States operates, but maybe like Sweden. That wouldn't be bad. Maybe if they were a little nicer.
Yeah, hopefully there's some sort of, you know, like uprising and like people can actually, there can be like an actual revolution instead of just like creating the next Putin and like continuing this like,
right,
you
just
know,
gangsters
global
after
bullshit,
gangsters after
you know?
gangsters.
The kind of like reverence for communism that the old people in Russia are thinking about is kind of just the direction that the Netherlands are heading in with socialism. It's kind of just like the way that there's like safety and there's community,
Right.
and that there's not a sense of like survive or you're on your own.
Right, but the thing is that at least in like the Nordic countries and Netherlands and a lot of the European countries that have embraced forms of socialism as opposed to communism in the USSR, is that when you spoke out against the government, you weren't put against a wall.
Right.
So it's interesting. They're like, we were safer then. I'm like, right. Part of me is like, maybe their propaganda was just that good.
That's it. because that's the missing factor probably in Scandinavia. I mean, I don't really know what kind of propaganda they have going on there, but like think about how new the concept of like official propaganda, like documented propaganda was in the time of like the Soviet Union, like the 1930s, 1920s. Like
propaganda wasn't really a thing until like there was political cartoons for a long time, but it really wasn't until like the printing press and stuff. And then really propaganda didn't pick up in
like
a large way until
like
World War I and
propaganda.
World War II.
Yeah.
Like the big posters and stuff like that. Like like that stuff wasn't like that. And now forms of propaganda are not like that. Forms of propaganda now are through media. They're through news. They're
Everything's
through story.
propaganda.
I would say you are propaganda. You're propaganda. Like it's music. It's fucking. It's products. You know,
Propagating
it's
ideas.
Celebrities.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know, it's also
girl.
like entire events.
I'm a material girl.
In a material world.
I'm in a material world.
I saw some like
The
Russian
entire
TV.
the entire 80s are propaganda. Like the whole
It is,
the whole
yeah.
like 80s like nostalgia wave malls and clothes and like
Dude.
retro. Like that's all propaganda
Yeah.
through
The
like
CIA
through media and consumerism.
The
It's
CIA
hilarious.
was flying cocaine into Florida. That's the 80s.
Yeah.
We invaded Guam for no reason.
They were planning the school shootings for the next 10 years, false flags that they want. They were planning Columbine in
Okay,
1980s.
first of all, there's actually a few documents that kind of show they were.
Yeah.
We're not gonna
Northwoods.
like
That's
Operation
that
North.
was 60s, but
I know it's older, but the plan that Dick Cheney was at when they're talking about what the New World Order is going to be, like it's just out there. Like you can just read that. Like that got declassified, and they're just talking about like fear and being the police of the world, and we got to make everyone scared of us. And like they're hinting back. It's all CIA good old boys, like these people who were involved in Operation Northwoods. Mind you, Operation Northwoods clearly stated using plane attacks, school shootings, bombings of like
federal buildings,
federal
things like
buildings
that. Yeah.
as way to encourage us into war. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that just wacky?
And they also, I think, also in that was assassinations.
Right. Not to say that. Yeah, and not. This is not saying that.
Just read this first part for the people.
Operation Northwoods was a proposed false flag operation against American citizens that originated within the U.S. Department of Defense of the United States government in 1962. The proposals called for the CIA operatives to both stage and actually commit acts of terrorism against American military and civilian targets, blaming them on the Cuban government and using it to justify a war against Cuba. The possibilities detailed in the document included the possible assassination of Cuban immigrants, sinking boats of Cuban refugees on the high seas, hijacking planes to be shot down or given the appearance of being shot down, blowing up a U.S. ship, and orchestrating violent terrorism in U.S. cities. The proposals were rejected by President John F. Kennedy, who 1 year later was shot in the head in a car in Texas.
by the CIA. I have no proof of that, but I could send you a few links.
There's proof.
There's actually a lot of proof.
There's a lot of proof.
There's actually a really good evidence that most likely they got him.
What's the Oliver Stone
Oliver
movie,
Stone,
JFK?
yeah.
Did that movie kind of go into the
No.
CIA stuff?
It's on, yeah. So I think it was going to be on Showtime first, and then it's going to be on other platforms, like at the end of March or something.
Dude,
Okay.
The Family of Lies by Russ Baker, when he proves that when they figured out that George Bush Sr. was the acting head of the director of the CIA from 1962 to 1963, the same year that John F. Kennedy was killed.
That's weird.
I'm just saying what people don't understand, bro. I know people say Russia's bad. We got a few gangsters ourselves. All right, we got a lot.
We
Listen,
invented the word gangster over here. I swear to Christ.
we got gangster dynasties in America.
I mean, the CIA actively collaborated with the mob to
Hey,
Yeah, have you seen
Do
The
shit.
Irishman?
yeah.
I
I hate how The Irishman insinuates that like they say that somebody outside of like just some random lone shooter killed JFK, but they kind of hint too much that it was just the mob.
Right.
'Cause
No, it wasn't.
Kennedy
just
was
them.
Irish, but
didn't see it.
no, it was
It was-
definitely those. I mean, the secret police CIA types were definitely in lieu with the
They didn't
mobs.
like
Like
'em.
why they were, but they were working with mobs. Like that's they're playing the same game. These like
Gangsters.
they're playing the
They're-
same game. They're playing counterintelligence and
Mhm.
like proactive like chaos.
Well, Joe Rogan had that when he had the CIA director on, and the way he said it, he's like, those guys back in the day, they were told we need money for this. They go, all right, and they would find a way to make money. And whether that was flying planes of cocaine from, the Florida Keys into the islands off the Florida Keys into Miami, or, bringing black tar heroin from Vietnam and Laos on the planes of dead Vietnam soldiers coming back to the United States to bring that to New York. And by the way, that's what the entire movie American Gangster is about. Like, they're like, I can't believe, they're like, I can't, and who plays him? It doesn't matter. But in American Gangster, it's just pretty much how like this African American guy, like it's kind of like the
Denzel
movie,
Washington.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of important about that he is black, because it's like it's finally a gangster movie that's not about Italians.
Yeah.
And they're telling the story about like Harlem and heroin and how this guy like rose to power, and it was a real thing in New York. But the way that they were getting the heroin from Vietnam to America was on the planes of dead soldiers coming back from Vietnam. Mind you, in the movie they didn't tell you, but in the movie they do show that they were shipping them on empty coffins. They were moving heroin off of empty coffins back into the United States. What they didn't tell you is that they went out so far as cutting open bodies and stuffing them with heroin. And I'm just saying, this is just, how does a guy from Harlem get all the way to Vietnam and figure out how to bring heroin on military transit planes?
How does he know the trucking companies that are bringing it into the different distribution centers? How does he?
Right.
Yeah, how does he track the?
Doesn't add up, does it?
He's just good.
He's just good.
He's just playing the. He's
playing the
He's
game.
wheeling and dealing. He's a black man in the '60s, wheeling and dealing,
making shit happen. Yeah, he ends
I
up,
guess.
he's the fucking Michael Jordan of heroin trading. He's
That's what. That's what they had Denzel Washington do it. So you're watching it and you're like, yeah, Denzel Washington's a bad motherfucker who could really handle his business.
But it's funny that nobody in the drug game, this is the thing, nobody in the drug game will ever be as good as the CIA. I don't care how cool you think Pablo Escobar was, he would never be what he was without the good old US of A. With the good old boys in the CIA, the Yale good old boy club. That's what's good. See, we're good at everything. We're good at making our country worse. And that period.
And the world.
And the world.
Here, let's just finish up with what we got so far here.
Ukraine and Russia to meet for peace talks without preconditions, Zelensky says. That's the president? Is that the word?
Yeah, this is the president.
President of Ukraine.
He looks rough. He looks a little stressed out.
Oh, that's him? Oh, I thought that was
he's
like
been
some
like
guy.
staying in Kiev, like, fighting. Well, apparently fighting, but he's like, he's still there, and he's like putting out videos and stuff. There's all these there's good propaganda of him where he's like out in like on the front lines. He's in a trench. He's got like the helmet on, and he's like looking tough and shit. And I follow him on Twitter. Like half my Twitter feed is just like Ukrainian. I'm just like translating it. I'm just like, I don't know what it's gonna say, but I'm like trying to piece it together.
Yeah, Joe Biden couldn't do that unless he had his nurse walking around with him.
Yeah,
he'd be like, I'm in New York in the trenches. Dude,
I'm waiting for them to put Joe Biden in a wheelchair like FDR. I'm waiting for him to get the FDR look.
They would have to wheel him out. Listen, it's so weird because sometimes he comes out and he just completely like loses where he is. And sometimes he comes out and he speaks really well. But it just reminds me of when they were talking about how Donald Trump like sometimes would come out and he'd just be like have all this energy, and they were like, yeah, it's meth. He's on a lot of amphetamines. Like they have to give that to him for him to do these speeches. Yeah, the man is high all the time, just like Joe Biden. That man can't operate. Dude, they're in their late 70s. They're the president of the most powerful country in the world. Who thought that was a good idea? Listen, it doesn't matter. We're getting. What I want to watch the video of the dumbass on fucking The View. Can we watch that?
Wait, but we're not. I want to see Trump's teaser.
Well,
no, we gotta get to. We gotta. I want to. This is crazy because this plays into the boomer delusion. The boomer delusion of this world. First of all, there wouldn't be a pandemic if there wasn't boomers. This is true.
Because everybody would listen, like all the younger kids would just be like, okay, let's just lock down.
No, I'm saying boomers are the pandemic. I'm kidding. Right. My grandma listens to this. I love her. It's really not her fault.
Every boomer I know is vaccinated. I don't know what you're talking about. Every boomer I've ever met is vaccinated.
My grandma has actually never said a boomer thing before in her life. Like she's never said something where I turn her. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've had other grandparents, not my grandpa, the ones that are relevant to who I'm talking about on the other side of the family who've said some shit. And I go, that's whack. That's confusing. All right, let's play it. Let's hear E.T. Canada.
It's heartbreaking to hear what is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm scared of what's going to happen in Western Europe, too.
Yeah.
You plan a trip, you want to go there. I want to go to Italy for 4 years. I haven't been able to make it because of the pandemic.
Turn it up.
It's like, who's going to...
This is what every boomer's thinking about right now. Dude, she is the amalgamation of of the hellscape that America, like, it's just all about me. It's all about what I want to do. This woman right before is like, it's horrendous what's going to happen to these families, because people are dying. People are being like losing their homes. We're seeing videos of missiles like entering like apartment buildings in Kiev. Not good. Very bad. Then you got this dumb broad, and she's just like, I can't believe we've been planning a trip for Italy for 4 years. Imagine you're having a caprese salad and the Russians just come jumping down on you like a moron. What are we talking about?
She doesn't even know. This is the thing. This is part of the mentality. They don't even know that they should instead be thinking about how all the young generation, people our age, is now. We're now at the point where our day to day is like history of the fucking 20th century. Like, we're now seeing what their parents and grandparents were living through. Like, we're now seeing like countries starting to war with each other, and like dictators and new forms of authoritarianism and propaganda beyond, like, horrors beyond our comprehension. And she's talking about like traveling
to Italy.
Italy.
But it's not her. It's her parents.
Yeah.
It was her parents who saw that. It's not her. She got to be in some cozy suburb while her friends got sent to Vietnam. It was her dad who fought in World War II and got the house. It wasn't her. She enjoyed the 80s. She got to enjoy.
Yeah.
She's the material girl.
Probably like her countless neighbors who were given that hallucinogenic from Jacob's Ladder and went animal on everybody in Vietnam.
No, our generation is going to be the one that gets to watch the Great Depression happen. Those great grandparents, they kept their mouth shut because they knew times could get bad. They didn't care. As good as times may seem, they always knew it could be worse. But the suburb GI Bill generation, the ones who didn't get to see any of the tragedy, specifically like the white suburban, middle
it's mostly
class,
that. Mostly comes down to
the fucking Long Island, the outside of Chicago stuff, those suburbs, those people are hell on earth. She should be sent to Ukraine. We should put her on the front line.
Wait, and what's good is that she can go and fight.
She can. We can sign up right now and go fight in Ukraine.
Oh no, we have to go to sign up. We have to actually travel. We have to get the flight there.
So listen, it's the Tipped and Stiff Venmo. If you want to pay for Jared and I's ticket to Ukraine, we'll join.
One way.
We're not coming back. Doesn't mean we're gonna die. I think I can handle it. That might not be true.
I might stay.
If I die, I'll die a hero. And I'll be happy. Because you know what? I got to be honest. The war in Ukraine is like the only war that I've seen in a long time where there's a clear bad guy. Like, there's no confusion.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
$446.
Dude, we're in. We could go today. That's easy. I bet you they've dropped.
Dude, I could sell my car. We could break our lease.
You don't need to when you go and fight for Ukraine. Like, that's for glory. All this shit doesn't matter anymore.
Dude, if we come back,
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I can drop all this off. I don't have to like
they'll make a
pay
doc
for my
about
car
us, bro.
or anything. Like, I gave up the old ways. This
episode will be in a documentary.
This is rejecting modernity and returning to tradition. This is going to fight on the front lines.
On the good side.
This is going across the ocean and standing with your European brothers. Like our grandfathers.
Our great-grandfathers showing the invaders.
Yep.
Who is boss?
Yep.
Because guess what? It wouldn't be a war in Europe if it wasn't for the good old US of A showing up. If it wasn't for the boys in green coming in on the choppers, that wouldn't be a war in Europe. If we got to be there, we got to go charge the beaches of the Baltic Sea to go show some Ruskies what's going on.
Stranger Things season 4. Where you at? We're the new season of Stranger Things.
If we get to go to Ukraine and fight Russians, we got to do the piss dream of Ronald Reagan. Like, that's what he always wanted to do. We're there. We'll do the podcast from Kiev. I don't give a shit. We'll live stream from Kiev and we'll fight on the front. Listen, it sounds like they're not very good at fighting. It sounds like they're just giving everybody a gun in Kiev. So if they can do it and Russia can't even get to the capital, we can do it. I mean, listen, what this really is saying anyone could do a war and win. We'll win.
We've been ready for this. Like, we've been prepped by our propaganda, which was very nice when it came to media. We had a good old game called Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
And there's 2 words in that game that have stuck with me, and they're cropping up in my head.
3 words.
three words, very important words that really inspire me and you, I can tell, to do this, to really
do
go
what's right.
And those three words, remember, no Russian. We're going. Yes. This is what we were destined now
for.
we're not going to shoot up an airport. That's not what we're saying.
And to be fair, the Remember No Russian line is saying for them not to speak Russian because they know Russian. They're only speaking English. However, that when we go there, we'll have to tell them context matters in this case. We're gonna go and listen. We support the fighters.
I don't want to kill any. Here's the thing. Like I don't want to kill Russian people.
Not people, but I will kill a Russian soldier. Because that's a dog.
I don't want to bomb a city full of civilians.
I don't think that's what they want to do. I think they just want to defend the homeland.
True. But the best defense is a good offense.
Right. That's why we're dropping in.
They straight up though, they are
Just
like,
us.
you can go to the defense of Ukraine, like, you know, and you can go sign up at like military offices and like volunteer. They're saying like anyone who's a friend of peace and democracy, like to come travel to the country and fight against the Russian invasion.
Dude, we should go so we can get a real AK.
You were
They're
looking
gonna
at.
give us
I think it's
AK.
Kalashnikov that they're giving out.
The newer
Yeah,
one?
aren't those?
Dude, how badass it would be if I go, hey, I fought in your war and I know it's over now and I want a medal because I just keep like ripping the badges out because there's no dog tags in Russia. You could I got 7. Like, is this enough for you to mail back the Kalashnikov to my house? Because I kind of want something to remember.
Can you sign it? Can you sign this, please?
Look at those are like normal people.
Oh yeah, dude. I saw some.
Dude, she looks like. Oh, dude, that's like she's gonna go on a run.
Yeah. No, I mean
She's wearing
it's
North
literally
Face.
like I saw one where it's like these two people like younger than us, or probably your age, they got married and then they both signed up, and then like they rushed their marriage and then they both signed up.
The problem is no one. I don't think a lot of people there speak English. There's gonna be a bit of a language barrier.
Yeah.
Well, nah,
Google
you'd probably be
Translate.
fine. Yeah.
Listen, we'll do good. Here's
point.
the thing. Here's the
Google
thing.
Translate.
We'll go.
with your AirPods,
Oh,
it'll
dude.
translate into your ear. They can do that.
No, it's like all of a sudden we get on the field and all of a sudden like fucking do 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 do. All of a sudden, Miss the Rage just starts playing, and it's just like we're just going in. Now
a
I know
Bluetooth
we're like
speaker.
making like seem like fun of like a war. Like obviously, there's people who are like
Oh.
doing this for their lives, and I respect it. But what I'm saying is that I respect it so much that I want to join them. I want to bring some of that good old American spirit. Look at
Yeah.
real patriotism.
Yeah.
Not that shit they made up in the 80s. I mean real, honest to God, patriotism on the good side, going to help save people. I
Yeah.
will put my life on the line for Ukraine.
Oh, Bryce,
Part of me wants to leave on
pull
a
it up
plane
again.
tomorrow.
Can you pull that picture up again? Because this is important.
What if I do it? Can we do it?
We could do it.
You wouldn't go. I'd go.
I would. No, I'd kind of rather go.
You want to go?
Bryce, can you pull that picture up again?
Yeah. What
This
if we
is-
did? What would you think of us, Bryce, if we did it?
Are you coming?
No, I got a life to live over here.
But you'd be okay if we left. Would you be scared? For
No,
us?
I would try to stop you from doing it, but also it would be great content. So.
Bryce, this
Are
is
you
why
in it
you're
for the views?
This is why you're a great.
What if we?
part
What
of
if?
this
Yeah, we
company.
go there and they're like, "Why are you here?" And like, we're here to defend Ukraine, and they're like, "You bitches really did this for views." And like, we actually like we get a few kills. We get a KD ratio. We get a ratio going.
A KD ratio.
KD
we die
ratio.
a couple times.
We get a KD ratio going.
KD with a 0D.
People are like, "Holy shit!"
This is the most trad realism I've ever seen. Like all the people on Twitter who just cream their jeans over like being trad or finding a trad wife.
You mean the American Nazis, like the pseudo Nazis?
Yes, and the people whose ancestors are like Orthodox Christian
yeah.
and like
This is
or
this.
Orthodox Greek. This is literally. I mean, look at them.
I
Like,
kinda wanna
look what
go.
they're wearing, and they're doing a ceremony, a wedding ritual, and then they're defending their home. That's insane.
I kind of want to do it. I'm going to be honest with you, Bryce. I feel like this is the adventure I've always been waiting for.
I mean, this is the thing: is there are a lot of people just like you around this country that are having the same exact conversation right now, and they were being serious. You know,
I kind of am serious.
is-
Can I be honest with you? Can I give you a percentage of how serious I am?
Yeah.
50.
Oh, I believe you.
I'm
Honestly.
like, dude,
closer
I'm
to
sure-
65 at
Dude,
the right
I might
now.
be over 50 because honestly, I kind of want to go do this.
What I was gonna say is,
I
it's
don't want to go to work. I want to go do this.
Yeah.
They could have sent Kyle Rittenhouse over here to do this shit. Like,
Where's Kyle?
Too bad this didn't happen like last year
Kyle
before all
would've
that
went.
shit.
Here's the
He
thing.
would have.
Kyle's a pussy. He probably would not have went.
Well.
You know why?
He's overweight.
Because it wasn't a racial issue.
Right.
Is this not a racial issue?
I can't go kill white
No,
people.
this is like
I can't go kill other white. Well, he did kill white people.
No, but we know. Listen, yeah, if you were to get him in a closed room, you're like, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on welfare? Like, you know what's gonna happen. Like, we don't get confused.
He wasn't playing basketball at the Recplex.
Right.
Okay? He was swimming. He was in the
hitting
gym.
women in a parking
he was playing tennis.
Yes, he is not cultured to say this. He's most likely a racist. I mean, if you had,
You think he ever met Tristan Jass at the Rec?
that is freaky to think about.
That's a
I think
weird
it's
thing to
freaky
think
that
about.
I could have been at the pool the same time that he was
Yeah.
a lifeguard. That actually freaked me out.
When we went that one time, you were like, I wonder when he stopped working here. Like if that was before or after the shooting.
When we went to Rec Flight, yeah, before. No, I was like, that was a dumb question because it was clearly before. I gotta be honest, I'm at like 60-40 right now. I kind of
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like really struggling like financially. I just got hired at a cool job, but it's, what job is ever going to be
Well,
good?
the
What
apartment-
job could be better than like strapping up and like
Rent's
and
gonna
like
get
like
paid.
an adventure?
I'm not worried about that. Like, rent's gonna get paid. I just want to, like, part of me is like, I could go to Europe. I could do something good. Like, honestly, this feels like I could finally go do something that's genuinely, like, no questions asked, the right thing to do. Is to go, like, actually fight on the right side. Like, not just those fucking losers on Twitter. Like, there's a conflict that I've known about for a long time. Go watch Winter on Fire. It's fucking sad. I've always wondered about what was happening in Ukraine. And now here's the chance where you have the real, like, truly you could go up against the evil people against the world.
Yeah.
Ukraine's not
Dude, those
evil
people in
place.
Winter on Fire, those like 19-year-old
Innocent
kids they
people.
were interviewing, they were saying the same things we're saying now. Like I've always wanted to like walk in the shoes of like my grandfather and great grandfather who were fought on the front lines, because it's always been bad. Like if there was a war in like a civil war in the United States of like elite or like working class versus like elite, like some sort of like actual war that there was a clear side that everyone should be on, that's the dream. That's the dream, is to be engaged in like a holy war.
I
in
might
a
not be
sense.
here tomorrow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not be here tomorrow.
You might be at O'Hare 6 a.m. flight.
Dude, my bed, like going to bed tonight, is genuinely gonna be hard for me.
We're staying up tonight. You want to get drunk tonight and talk about this more?
I genuinely might leave tomorrow. I might hitch a plane and go do this because I can't think of anything better to do with my life. Than
You know what's
this right
funny
now.
is that your family would be way more supportive of you going than my family of
No,
me
my
going.
mom would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Mine is our moms, because it's a mom.
Your dad might be into it.
No, God
shit.
damn it! Now you brought this up because the thing is that when this started, I was like, damn, there's some QAnon forums on there right now. They're like, this has everything to do with Hunter Biden's son. Russia's trying to save the Ukrainian people, or Russia's trying to get the original Hillary Clinton emails. And right after I told Jared that, and that fucking day, like literally an hour, 2 hours later, I was looking at my phone, and I realized I still followed my dad on Instagram. The first post that he's posted in a long time was a picture of George Soros, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi over Ukraine, and it says all of these people have family members working in Ukrainian oil, and then the caption just was, "The libs did this." So no, he would not approve. He would think if I went to go fight for Ukraine that I would be fighting for the deep state. So no, he would want me to be on the other side.
He'd want
No.
Yeah, no, he'd want you to be sowing dissent in the Ukrainian. He'd want you to be wearing that black and red flag.
I feel like if I don't do this, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. I feel
If we don't at least give it like a few more, like another day or two of consideration.
let's see if it kicks off a little bit. I mean, if they're having
the peace talks,
Okay, well, give it the peace talks. If nothing happens and we see it get worse, I might buy a plane ticket. I might have to go tell my boss, hey, I'm not going to be back for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm going to Ukraine, and he's going to be like, you're just doing it? I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving, and I'm just going to leave, and I will do it. I will hitch a plane ride from O'Hare. I will go to Ukraine, and honestly, fuck it. I'll bring a camera.
Hey,
I'll bring a GoPro.
between the three of us, this would be the best decision for this podcast in the entire history of this podcast.
If I just straight up
This would top Jake Paul going to the suicide forest.
Dude, this would, first of all, imagine I have all my photos on Instagram deleted. Imagine my first photo was me holding a Kalashnikov and going, just landed.
Boots on the ground.
Dude, what if I first posted, I told you we had to get involved. No, because I posted on my Facebook, I said, I'm on the Tit That Sit Facebook, I said, if Russia doesn't stop, we might have to get involved. Imagine if the first post is me with the Kalashnikov saying, just like with it, and just like, I told you, y'all, we had a plan. And I just come back. I had to get oh, you know what sucks? I don't have a passport.
I don't know if you need one. Well, you might need one to leave, but
would we need a visa?
You can get one expedited.
Could we get a visa instead?
I don't think you need to apply for a visa to get to.
Doesn't work like that. Oh, how the fuck do I get a passport? How do I get back? I only have to get smuggled in on a crate. You're gonna have to FedEx me.
You have to realize there's a chance you might not come back.
Well, good. Then
I'm coming back.
We're not getting a passport.
Not if a nuke drops in there, dude.
There's not going to be any nukes, Bryce, and that there is.
What if tomorrow a nuke drops?
What if a nuke drops right now and this episode never airs?
Dude, if a nuke dropped in Ukraine, and here's the thing. How about this? We know everything went right if by when this episode is posted, I am not in the United States anymore.
Because if by Friday we are not both in the Ukraine, like I don't
have a passport.
You can get a passport quick.
Can you really expedite it? You have to pay more to get it.
Oh, fuck it. I'll do it. I'll go. Dude, here's the thing, though. Bryce is going to be so nervous once I get that passport expedited because he's like, there's only really one more step left of this plan, which is physically getting on the plane and leaving.
Yeah.
I will do it. I will go buy boots. I will go buy everything necessary needed to be warm in Ukraine.
Yeah, that Carhartt hoodie.
Dude, I will flesh out all Carhartt.
Hey,
dude.
What kind of
people
Bryce,
be like, damn.
Can you do some research for us real quick? What kind of what's like the major brands of cigarettes in the Ukraine? I'm just curious.
This is an interesting tangent, but I am definitely
I just want to know if if they're like cool, like if they're like cool cigarettes.
Okay.
Like good. Like do they have American
here you go.
Spirit and
these are the top ones.
Well, I can't read it. It's in Ukrainian. Prima, Priluki, Kishao. I would smoke Kozak.
Kozak, bro. I would smoke Kozak.
Maybe no, I would smoke Orbits.
Orbits or Kozaks?
Kozaks.
Only because I can pronounce them and they sound cool. Solichny.
Look at what the Kozak pack looks like. Kozak cigarettes.
Okay.
Try to see what they look like. Because if they look baller, then that's the first thing I'm getting when I drop. When I get battle bust in, where we dropping.
Yo, my God.
Yeah, dude. That's hard as shit.
I'm having those in my side pocket, in my armband.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, we're going. Let's do it. Fuck it. I got time to waste. I'll apply for time off. I'll just tell him I'll be back.
There's nothing here for me.
Truly, I want to leave. Let's do it. Fuck it. It will be an adventure of a lifetime.
Well, it says that
it really would be.
It might be horrendous. We might get PTSD.
How old do you have to be?
You might die, but you
might die.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine. I mean, you guys are both of age, anyways. Okay. But they're having like teenagers fighting shit. It said all right. So in less than 5, if you need it from less than to 5 to 7 weeks, like 5 to 7 weeks is expedited. You can pay to have that, but it says. If you have urgent international travel plans within 2 weeks or need a foreign visa within 4 weeks, then you can get it expedited at an agency. Or I have a right of life or death emergency service. So maybe you could get it under that. I don't know. We'd have to look more into it. There's got to be a way to.
We'll make a call tomorrow.
I need a passport anyway.
Yeah, you should get one.
I need one anyway.
It takes a while. It takes 8 to 11 weeks normally.
See, it'll be over by then.
We lost
we have to expedite
Damn, we're not going to be able to go.
Well, we have to expedite it.
If you expedite it could be 5 to 7 weeks.
They won't let you leave, right? If you don't have a passport?
It might be different for Ukraine. I don't know.
Can you leave the United States without a passport?
Yeah, can we look that up?
Like,
Google
can you leave the United States?
Maybe I won't come back.
Because when I was in high school, I
Maybe
went
I'll
to
just
Canada.
live in Ukraine.
It says you are not required to present a passport to leave the U.S. However, airlines may forbid boarding international flights without one. You also may be delayed or denied entry back to the U.S. for insufficient documentation. So
Wow,
there's
so
a
you
chance.
might not even need it. What if you applied for it, but they're like, yeah, I need to come back. They're like, you come back, you're like, I fought in the war. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, I went to go
This is
fight
the
in
thing.
the war.
Yeah, how could they deny you that? That's insane.
Yeah, I think if you go, you're going to go. You're not coming back right away, you know. And
Right.
like you are not going to be able to, and you know you're gonna fight. And if you fight and you guys win, and like you come out on top, then your life will be different forever. Like you're gonna like this.
First of all,
something will happen. You
I will
know?
be royalty
Yes.
on that plane ride back. If they're like,
Yeah.
why were you here? I'm like, I fought. They're like, holy shit, you came from America to the Eastern Bloc of Europe to fight in our war. We're like, yeah. They're like, God, they would love me. I'd be a saint. I'd be an Eastern Orthodox saint.
There will be people, I'm sure.
I would be
We'll
dude.
find
They
out
would call me
Yeah.
Saint. Hold on. Can we go to the? Can we go to what did they speak? I mean, they speak Ukrainian. Can we go from English to Ukrainian? The translator, please, on Google. I need to hear this because I need to know. This is important. This is like the most important part of this.
Okay.
Get it up
let's
there.
see.
Let's get it up there.
All right.
We need to go from English to Ukrainian. Flip it around. Okay, put Almaraz.
Is it with an E?
Oh, A.
An A?
All right, now hit the. I want to hear how they say it.
Almaraz.
That's what my saint name would be.
Almaraz.
And that's how they would spell it. And that would be pasted around the walls.
Let's save this. Saint
That would be
Almaraz.
tattooed on newborn babies.
I'm going to go there and be... People are like, you're saying like you're going to be a hero, though. You have zero military experience. You probably will just die. However, I will die as hero. What's worse? Living long enough to see yourself become the villain?
Hero Almaraz.
Or dying a hero. Can we put Saint Almaraz?
Oh,
And I hear those two together.
Yeah, how does saint sound in that language?
Святый Almaraz.
Zvate Almaraz.
Svate Almaraz.
Zvate Almaraz. Zvate Almaraz.
Yeah. Now I know a lot of you guys listening probably have like relatives or grandparents that fought in,
Real
Vietnam
wars.
or Iraq or Afghanistan or the Gulf Wars or something like that.
Right.
And you might feel disrespected by us toying with the idea of going and defending an innocent country. But I just want you to know that yes, your relatives were commendable for wanting to join and do stuff like that. But there has been maybe 2 just wars in the entire history of this country. So maybe settle down.
And
but all respect to how that works out for you.
If one of your grandpas was the one drafted to go to Vietnam,
Yeah.
I truly
All the
the respect
respect.
in the world.
That shit
But if
is
you
fucking-
chose
yeah.
to go, you can go fuck yourself.
If you chose to go and didn't think and didn't look into it,
you're dumb.
you didn't read up on what the history of the country you were about to go and fight in.
Yeah, but are people really going to do that? Is your average factory worker guy who's just, gets the propaganda and it's just like, fuck, I got to go fight in the war. Gotta
Right.
protect my
Well,
family.
we
'cause they're
literally
coming here.
I see that as the same as being drafted. Because
if you get tricked.
propaganda drafting really susceptible people is the same thing.
Here's what we really should say to those people. We just showed how much knowledge we do have on the conflict, and we're still willing to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It must be a just conflict.
Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm at 70. I'm at 70-30 right now.
Yeah, about same.
Okay.
I kind of want to do it.
I hope
get a
you-
Kalishnikov.
I'd like to get Case's input on this, genuinely. We should get Jason's input.
We'll call him. We'll call him after the podcast.
Why don't we call him right now?
Yeah, let's do it. On
Your
the
phone's
podcast.
on the ground.
Who are we calling?
We're calling my stepdad.
Okay.
We need his input on this.
Okay.
All right.
His genuine, reaction, because I don't know. I think it could go two different ways. Honestly, we'll see. I hope he picks up.
Get a little closer if you can.
on the middle there.
I'm gonna be so disappointed if he doesn't pick up.
I need you.
If you call him twice, he'll probably pick
He'll
up
pick
second time.
Leave a message and I'll return your call.
All right, we'll try one more time.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know who we're calling.
Who are we calling?
We're calling my grandpa, bro.
Yes.
The oldest OG in the West.
What's his name?
Phil.
Phil. Call him Phil.
Can't hear it. There you go.
Hello.
Hi, Grandpa.
What's up?
You're okay. So don't say anything naughty, but you're on the podcast. We've been talking about the Ukrainian thing for a while, and we're coming up with an idea. And we want your input on it.
Okay.
So anyone can go to the Ukraine and join the war, and Jared and I are sitting at about 60-40 of buying a ticket tomorrow and just going, and we want your input on that.
Yeah, sure.
Because at this point, this is probably the only war in forever that's probably clearly a good side and clearly a bad side, and they're just letting people sign up. Neither of us have a passport, but if we tell the Ukrainian airport that we're there to join the fight, they'll probably let us on anyway.
Air Ukraine.
Yes.
Oh.
We'll get in. The problem is getting back. We have to pay extra money to expedite our passport. However, Jared and I would probably be named saints in the meantime. So, but we're at a 60-40 ledge right now. 60 meaning yes and 40% no. Honestly, I'm more at a 70-30 because right now, as you can imagine, a war makes airline tickets pretty damn cheap. It's $433 right now, one-way international flight. One layover. O'Hare to New York, New York to Ukraine.
Oh, we stop in New York?
We got to stop in New York. So are you saying yes or no?
I'm saying no.
Okay. If I might not be here next week because you know what? We might have to do a podcast live from Kiev.
Jesus.
Dude, how wild would that be if we'd go there as press?
Oh my God.
First of all, you're laughing, Grandpa, but this podcast is going to be in the documentary. Ultimately. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for your input. All right. Love you. Bye.
Same here, bye.
I thought you had him for a minute there.
Dude, well, everyone in their right mind is going to say no, but I'm not in my right mind. I'm right where I needed to be. I can't think of anything more exciting. See, the thing is, like, I understand that I could die, but, like, I don't really give a shit.
But if you die, then you're never going to be able to live to see the Great Return happen.
What's that?
Damn it, you lost it. It's okay.
I'll bring it back. Don't worry.
Do you know The Great Return? The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Why do you keep doing that?
Our guy?
You got to aim for the center.
All right.
Brave and righteous spirit they've unleashed in men and women like all of you here today, and this is some crowd. We broke the record again. We broke the record again.
It's CPAC.
But they're going to find out the hard way starting on November 8th, and then again even more so on November 2024. They will find out like never before.
I have chills.
I have chills right now. I was thinking the same thing.
We did it twice, and we'll do it again.
He said we're going to be doing it again a third time.
I cannot even begin to imagine the brave and righteous spirit they've unleashed
I think that's the end.
in men and women.
Oh, that's it then. Oh, he said we'll do it again. Dude, he's still saying he never lost. He is still saying in the year 2022 that he won the second election.
2020, yeah.
2020. I'm saying in the year 2022,
he's still saying
he won. And we'll do it a third time.
That was brilliant.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
What's wrong, Bryce?
Nothing.
Oh my God, dude! Russia's. You know who's not going to go to Ukraine? Any of Trump's children. but you know who will?
Joe Biden's children. Or one of his.
Historically, yes.
Hunter Biden's already there, buddy.
He's fighting. Let's go fight alongside that man.
Hunter's throwing Molotovs.
that pipe.
He's taking a crack pipe and he's filling it with
dude, he is. Yes. He's fucking filling that crack pipe.
I'd smoke crack with him.
Dude, let's go to Ukraine. Well, this is what we'll do for the doc. So we'll do a live Tipped and Stiff podcast from Kiev.
Yeah.
And then we'll go smoke crack with Hunter Biden. And then we'll go join the front line.
Then we'll get around to joining the front.
What was the other Biden who died?
I don't know. Randall? What was his name?
His name was like
Andrew?
Bo Biden.
Bo Biden. He was in like a car accident? No, he had a brain tumor.
Yeah.
And then didn't Hunter like sleep with his widow?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's sad.
Well, he's smoking crack. Like when you turn to someone like, are you smoking crack right now?
And painting.
He says yes.
He was like, Joe Biden was like, son, I mean, are you smoking crack? Not to be crass, but are you smoking crack? And he was like, yes.
I'm smoking. He went to rehab. Like Joe Biden has talked about how his son has a crack smoking problem.
Yeah, everybody forgets that you should look also at the parents when you have a child who's doing hard drugs like that.
Where were the parents?
Well, I know where the parents
Where
were.
were the
His wife did die in a car accident.
I know where the parents were.
Wait, right? Am I dumb wrong
Joe
about
Biden's
that?
wife is alive.
His old wife, right?
Is he remarried?
No, dude, I'm thinking of somebody else. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you got confused.
I'm thinking of somebody big.
I thought you were going to make an Epstein joke. You're like, I know where the parents were. Little St. James Island.
Who's... I'll think of it
That
later.
was a crude...
You're right, dude.
What?
No, you're right. Nelia Hunter Biden was an American teacher and first wife of Joe Biden, and she died in a car crash in 1972.
Is she the original birther?
Along with her
Biden?
1-year-old daughter Naomi and her 2 sons Bo and Hunter.
Oh, that's
They
actually
were in the
really
car,
sad.
yeah, so Bo and Hunter survived.
That's actually really sad.
Yeah.
He lost his wife and his kid.
Well, that's okay. It is sad. But every boomer I talked to that was like, Joe Biden is the savior, is going to change this country. They are overcome with this story of his life because it's been turned into like this, like therefore he is empathic enough person to like change this broken system. No, he was part of it. He was entrenched in it his entire time. He was a politician. It's a fucking...
And to not be judged for the crime bill.
Yeah,
like
he was. They're like a black guy killed his wife. They hit the car.
They hit the
It's
car.
like, oh.
Right. It gets racy real quick, even with the Joe Biden supporters.
Biden.
It gets racy real quick. Listen, white America's white America. Not saying it's a good place. It's actually kind of bad.
But what Ukraine is different.
So we're going, right?
I'm still like 75. We'll see let's
You're
drink
in
on
reality,
it tonight.
you're like 30, 60.
No, because I'm really not doing well around here.
You're 40, 60.
I'm really not doing well.
More no.
No, I'm leaning more towards yes.
Do you think a trip to Ukraine will be good for your mental health?
Yeah. I really don't want to live here anymore.
You want to go to Ukraine?
I kind of want to go.
What if we just say fuck it?
I was looking. Here's why. Because I was looking at my Snapchat today, and for some reason this morning, as soon as I woke up, I looked through everybody's Snap story, and I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? If I don't get out of here, I'm gonna kill everybody in my life and then myself."
Dude,
so I think maybe what's worse than that?
To be fair, Snapchat does do that to you. You start getting some intrusive thoughts when you're going through Snapchat because it's mindless. You do know for a moment though. Seriously, when you go clicking through those Snapchat stories, you're like, you just start getting a little like the ape in your brain starts getting a little like, what the fuck are we doing here? Mm-hmm. So let's let the ape out in the jungles, in the woods,
in the mountains of Ukraine,
in the cities.
Dude, what would we call ourselves? What would our nicknames be? I'm stealing Joker. I'm going with
your face like the Joker.
Dude, people would be terrified though.
The Riddler would be a little upset.
Dude. I'm thinking Joker
guy online. Yeah.
I'm thinking more of the Joker as from Full Metal Jacket. Less of the actual Joker.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Joker from Full Metal Jacket.
Dude, I would be
Saint Joker.
No, I'm trying to think. I would be I'd probably be. We were talking to Case about this. The movie Red Dawn. I'd probably be like Charlie Sheen's character from that movie, who's just like this weird, scrappy, like little like nobody guy, like a guy who like never really thought he would be able to like defend anybody or anything,
Right.
but then he actually is like the last survivor of the movie, and like whether that would actually happen or not.
Spoiler.
I'm just
Dude,
saying,
how
it's
funny-
from the 80s. You guys are dumb.
Can you? Why don't you get there when they ask you who are you? You say The Rock.
The Rock.
You go. The Rock is definitely in the building.
Imagine if like the Ukrainian people don't know who The Rock is. But,
Yeah,
like,
dude, you be The Rock.
When I tell them who it is and I show them the movies I was in,
Dude, no, you say you're The Rock, and they'll be like, The Rock and the Joker are here.
You just start doing the Rock impressions. Like,
Dude, how cool would that be? People, because they wouldn't know.
No.
And they would be like, we have a war to fight. Like, we're
They
here
don't
for
have a-
you.
they don't
The
have
Rock
a-
and the
no.
Joker have arrived.
they don't have a Rock. They don't have
No,
The Rock
we
in the
can be-
Ukraine. So like, why can't I just? That's not plagiarism. It's not copyright.
No,
we could just go and be that there.
You be The Rock, and
A
I
new-
be the
whole
Joker.
new thing.
We'll make it big,
Yeah,
and we'll win.
they definitely know who Joker is, but not Full Metal Jacket.
We will
Joker.
change the tide of the war, even though they're having peace talks today. But that's beyond the point. Let's do it. Fuck it. I kind of want to go.
And I don't. That doesn't mean I don't want the peace talks to go well. I'm just saying.
No,
there's
not at
still
all.
going to be problems forever, in some way. And I think as long as the problems right now are going to
if
be,
we get there and
letting
the
me
party's
get in.
over, though, we're going to be really disappointed.
Yeah,
Show
you
up
can-
like a
you
day
can-
late.
You're right.
Rocky Joker.
Rocky
Joker.
Rocky as
The
Joker.
Rock and the Joker.
Rocky Joker.
The Rock and the Joker are coming, Ukraine. Dude, what if it's just a picture of us when we get there with 2 Kalashnikovs and it says The Rock is definitely in the building? All right, let's fucking end this. All right, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. Like and subscribe. I keep forgetting to say that. Please like and
Yeah.
subscribe. That's actually like the most important thing.
Even if you're a Spotify listener, we have a lot
Yeah.
of other content on our YouTube page.
Yes.
Go subscribe to that.
Just like it really actually helps. I didn't believe that it does, but it actually pushes the videos more. So
Yeah.
please like and subscribe. The YouTube, we're pushing that always on. We're on every platform: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're fucking everywhere. And next we will be coming from you live from Kiev, Ukraine.